What's good? What's good? What's good? What's happening? What's up, Maria? What's good with y'all, man? Happy Monday. Yeah, Sersky. Mm-hmm. Marriage is a ruin. It's always been bad. I don't know why it's so blurry on this thing, though. Know what's going on. But what else? We in this thing. Lady Starfish, what's going on with you? We definitely bite. It was funny last night. It was some dude in a live. I was in a live. I was in a live. Appreciate you, Danny. I was in a live. What up, Blair? And some dude was like that. I'm in somebody else's live, but he's in the live. Probably follow me in the live or whatever, right? But anyways, so he's in the live and he like talking crazy, like just saying weird shit to me. I was like, what? You don't be talking like this when you be in my live. So I told him, I said, hey, when if I catch you in a live tomorrow, I was like, come up. I was like, come up and and air your grievances out. I want to hear them. So we gonna see. Yeah, it was a live about chivalry. That dude was an idiot, by the way. The guy, whoever was like talking about chivalry, definitely keep like up the live, y'all. We only had 200 likes. We definitely got it. We should be 1,500, 2,000 easily. But yeah, he was talking about some why doesn't chivalry go both ways, or why don't we do shit? Why aren't we chivalrous? Why aren't women doing the same thing for men? And it would be nice for boys to experience girls being nice. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, you have to teach boys and men to be nice to girls and women because they don't think women deserve them to be. They don't think that women deserve men to be nice to them. So you have to like create like a system to teach men how to be nicer. You know what I mean? To be nice to women. You don't have to do that for women. Women are nice to men. Women are nice to men. Like they treat us very well. And it was weird. He was saying some stupid shit. But it was some idiot in the comments who be in my live and he was like, women only do that for men that they're attracted to, and da 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 da. And I was like, no, that's actually not true. That's how men are nice to women based on attraction. Women aren't nice to men based on attraction. You would never know a woman is attracted to you, to be honest with you. Like, or I'm saying, like, if you're not in a relationship with her, women be attracted to many a men and don't even react to them at all. Like, we'll find a man attractive and like won't even like just keep it pushing. Oh, he's attractive, cool, just keep it going. A man sees an attractive woman, he's like, I gotta, oh my God, there's an attractive woman in my presence. I must go try to talk to her. I must say some weird stuff to her. I'm not like, she must know I'm alive. Like, I'm like, bro, it's all right. You're good. She doesn't need to know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, women are told that kindness is the default. What up? What up? What up? I feel like my shirt is getting in the way again, so I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help y'all out. I'm gonna help y'all out one more time. All right, there we go. Now we're good. Now everybody can see. Did B ever put that baby to bed last night? We don't know what happened with that baby, man. That baby was screaming for her daddy. She wanted her daddy to pay her a little bit of attention. He was, yeah. I'll get to it when I get to it. It was crazy. But anyways, we back at it like a crack at it, y'all. We done changed the prompt. What it do, folks? Similarly to last night, hopefully we can stay on topic for more than 15 minutes. I'll be trying, but I got ADHD, and then the dudes want to derail the conversation, so I allow it to happen. It's my bad. I could keep it on topic better. I got to do that. Oh yeah, you're right. I got it. Yes, I don't want to get flagged this early. I will be forced to restart the live. So marriage isn't ruined. It's always been bad. It's a lot of. I think I could just start a whole series on this because the way that we romanticize, like yesterday we did dating, and then today we're doing marriage. Like the way we romanticize these things as if like at any point in time in history, these were like like, oh no, it was good back in the day. Like it was when was it ever good? When was it ever good? And who was it good for? I'm not saying it wasn't good for somebody or some people, but I'm saying for it to be good, it should benefit everybody. And you know what I'm saying? Like everybody should benefit from it. You know what I mean? Like every group, not literally every single person, but every group should benefit from marriage. But does every group benefit from marriage, or does one group benefit from marriage, and what group is that, and how much more? If one group does benefit, is it a slight benefit? Overall benefit? I don't know. I don't think there's an overall benefit to marriage for a particular group of people. I think there is a huge advantage, that marriage creates for another group of people. Now, just so you guys know, I need to be safe. I got to say M's and W's or something like that. I'm pretty sure we just cannot say, we cannot say men, women, in having these discussions. So just so you guys know, I got to say W's and M's, W's and M's. That's where we're at with it. Sorry. TikTok is very, very oppressive right now. I don't use that word lightly. I was in oh man, I was talking to my homie in the chat on TikTok last night, and I said, I don't even want to say it, but I said, remember the dude who they blamed for 9/11? The guy that blamed for 9/11 that was from Afghanistan? I said his last name as it was like a metaphor or like a simile. I said this dude was hiding like that guy. Like he has as many hiding places as that guy had. And they literally blocked my message and was like, this is like, you can't say this pretty much. I was like, in a chat? To my friend? What? Let them decide that. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, great question. Yeah, I mean, my lives have always been getting reported, but now they're actually I'm being punished. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting mass reported for years, no doubt about it. Like I know, my page has felt the effects of it, no doubt about it. But they used to not be there was no direct punishment. It was always like an algorithmic punishment that I would get where you can just tell all right, they starting to not push it out as many people, or they're throttling me. It was like that. Now it's not. Now it's just full blown. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just full blown. It's all a scam. Marriage, bringing children into this world, buying homes, working, saving money. I don't think. No, I don't think all those things are a scam. Definitely Asian. Yeah. Bringing children into the world isn't a scam. Buying homes, yeah. I think it's somewhat of a scam. Like in the grand scheme of things, I'm not against buying a home, obviously, but yeah. Working, not a scam, because everybody should be working. And saving money, I guess, because money exists. Saving money is a scam. I don't know. I am married. I'm most certainly married. What up, Bougie? So, what's SBG? Victorious one. But yeah, let's have the conversation. So I'm willing. I want to have it. I think the conversation should be had. Reggie said marriage is pretty dope. Reggie, are you married? What up, Lex? Marriage is pretty dope for who? Yeah, I'll invite Reggie. You was married. All right, you were married, but you're not married anymore. So how's marriage dope?
Oh, no, one second. Let me just follow for a second. Pause. Hold on. Talking about my lunch break.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, that's right. It was pretty dope, man.
What happened?
Life, not getting too much into it, but life, we just grew apart. I still have plenty of love for her. Still follow her online. She's a really dope person, man. That's why I don't have anything bad to say about my ex-wife online. I'm not like, oh my God, she this, she that, She happens.
But you know what though? Again, marriage is dope for men though. Hymns. Marriage is dope for hymns. I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem, is that marriage is dope for one group of people and not dope for the other. That's the messed up. That's typically the findings. Because and before you say, oh, it could be using you as an example, and I hate to use you as an example, but you brought it up. If marriage was dope for both you and her, y'all would still be married.
That's not true though. That's not true. I think so. Without getting too much into my situation, I think my situation is.
I don't even want you to get into your situation. Yeah, if we can avoid it, but I just use that in a broader, because obviously it would seem to me, any logical thinking person, if the marriage benefited both parties and was dope for both parties, then it never would have ended. But that's me. I don't know how. Again, I don't know. I can't think of it. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm projecting, because I couldn't think of any reason why me and my wife wouldn't be together as long as we were both benefiting one another.
I think two people can grow apart respectfully. Mm-hmm. So what? And I'm not trying to say like, oh, respectfully, like how can I know what you mean. Right? What I tell people all the time is like, my ex and I, we came together, had a divorce agreement. It was kind of crazy. We just submitted it to the court. After 10 minutes, it was done. Unfortunately, 10 years of being together, 5-6 years of marriage, it's done in 10 minutes. But at the end of the day, I'm not like, oh man, she was this, she was that. No, definitely not. She's a pretty cool person. Hope everything goes out well for her. I think that at the end of the day, two people can just decide to say, hey, you know what? This isn't working for either one of us right now. And then maybe we're at a crossroads and we have to choose one direction and not do the other. And I think that can just happen. I don't think that's the way it goes for a lot of people. We did not have money problems. We didn't have infidelity problems. We didn't have any of that.
You said you guys grew apart, and that's vague, but I'll take it. But growing apart leads to a non-dope marriage. That's what I'm saying. Like it's by default. If it was, again, logically, if it was dope for both parties, you would still be together. The fact that you guys grew apart led to the marriage not being dope for both parties. It could have been not dope for either one of y'all at that point, or dope for one and not dope for the, whatever you want to say. But in reality, the relationship was not dope at the time you guys got a divorce. Obviously, that's what I'm saying.
Right. So, but here's the thing, though, right? Before divorce, I think most people will tell you that's a pretty not dope time. That's a horrible time, right? But I think in order for people to grow within themselves and experience better, now I'm not saying that my life is better. I'm hoping her life is better, right? Then sometimes you do need to just move on because the other person just isn't the right person for you. And I'm going to be very honest. I don't think at that point I was the right person for her. And most people in my life have said the same thing. They've said, hey, she's just in this place and you're in that place. And then, but afterwards, I'm pretty sure and I actually know that she grew into the person who she was always intended to be. She blossomed and that's really dope for her.
Hmm. I'm gonna let this new guy, what's his name, Perk. Go ahead, Perk. You said something in the comments. You were saying outside influences. What was that referring to?
Like anybody on the outside kind of influencing your marriage, like outside opinions. Like you'll have a great marriage, and you have somebody like your mother or someone else's mother kind of trying to influence whatever is going on inside your marriage, which can cause y'all to break up, stuff like that.
How?
That's what I was talking about.
How? If there's nothing,
like I said,
if what they're saying about you is baseless, how could it lead to a divorce? In most cases.
Mostly is like constant nagging or anything like that. Like, oh, my husband wouldn't do this or anything like that. Like I said, like anything outside, it could be a person that's a influential figure to you. And because you value their opinion so much, it can also, cause your kind of warp your ideas of what you want out of your own marriage. That's what I was saying.
I don't think that's a thing. I hear what you're saying. I just don't think
it's a thing. Believe me, it's definitely a thing.
Why would I believe you? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I want to believe you, but why should I believe you? And I don't know. I've never seen what you're talking about actually happen.
It happened to me. That's why I say it is a thing. I had a marriage at one point where it was a great marriage, everything was going good, but because she was so influenced by the person that the person that she was dealing with, they didn't really have a great marriage. So any small thing or anything that didn't look like something great to her, you know what I mean? It was kind of like a bad, like, I don't know. It was like something negative. But before you know it, it was like I got tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was just a weird situation.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's a chance in hell that anybody could ever, from the outside, if I'm not doing anything wrong on the inside of the marriage, that nobody from the outside can negatively impact my marriage.
I mean, you can say that, but
no,
it's a possibility.
No, it's not.
It is.
I mean, for who? From who? It would never happen for me.
You've been married before, correct?
I'm currently married. Yeah.
You're currently married, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. And nothing affects your marriage whatsoever.
Yeah, what I do and what my wife does and our kids, like what happens in our home, yeah. But people from the outside don't affect our marriage whatsoever.
Yeah, there's not always people that's strong enough that have that kind of mindset, though. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't work for everybody. I didn't say that marriage is a bad thing or anything like that. So, like personally, I like the idea of marriage.
Yeah,
you have the person that you with for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Most men, in some way, they like marriage. You know, a lot of men don't like marriage. Don't get me wrong, right? A lot of men, are, especially black men, we're like definitely afraid of marriage. But but for the most part, I think men like the idea of marriage. They like the fact, they like thinking like, oh, I could have like a woman to help to take care of me, to split the bills, to raise the kids, to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like most men.
I don't know anybody that think like that.
Of course you do. Every man you know, yeah, you do.
Every man I know does not think like that.
No man you know doesn't think that a woman doesn't. I'm sorry, forget what they think. Every man you know is in an egalitarian relationship with a woman where they're doing equally everything with the woman in the house.
As far as I know, not really. Like they, no, it's not.
So,
It's not
so
really a
you know,
people community.
yeah. So most of the men you know aren't egalitarian, which means what? The women are doing more than them most of the time.
No,
Oh,
the men usually do the most.
oh, okay. So you're all your friends are the diamond in the roughs, not the average.
I mean, I don't really hang around a lot of like I don't know, like some of the people I hang around the people that I want to be more like. You know what
So
I'm saying? So I don't really hang around people that has like a negative attitude about certain things, if that makes sense. Like people
do
that
you
look up to marriage, I always stay around people like that. Um, even a person like myself, I want to be one of those men that if I can do everything for my wife, eventually, yeah, we're gonna have problems where it's gonna be, yeah, it might be sometimes I might not be able to pay everything at one point, but eventually I want to get to the point where I'm taking care of everything and she don't have to worry about too much.
but most women don't even care about that. That's not
You
even
said,
that's not even in the top like 10 things that women are looking for a man to do. Like, so here's what I'm saying. So I'm listening to your idea of a marriage, and the first thing you bring up is money, right? I want to financially take care of everything in the home. That's the first thing you bring up. So that
mm-hmm,
to me as a married man, right?
mm-hmm,
When I hear that, I go, okay, so he doesn't understand that he doesn't really know what women are actually looking for inside of a marriage. It's not the
mm-hmm.
financial. I mean, they want you to be financially viable
Whoa.
individually, but they're not looking for that for you to do that for them. They can do that for themselves. They want you to do that for yourself, and then they want you to add and enhance their life. Add and enhance, add to and enhance their life. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear you say that, and then I juxtapose that to what you were saying about how you were in a perfect marriage and some outside influences ruined it, I'm starting to hear the discrepancy. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, because okay, yeah, that now it's starting to come together a little bit. Also, a man that would get up here and tell me with somewhat of a straight face, I can't see it, I would presume to be a straight face, that all of his friends that he knows do more in the relationship than the woman. But you want to be like them, so that means that you weren't like them in your relationship. You said I'm around people that I want to be like. You aspire to be like, right? Like your friends that inspired you. So you weren't that guy in your relationship, right? I just the story's not. I'll be honest with you, the story ain't adding up. That's all I'm saying. It ain't making much sense to me. Can I tell you what I think happened? And then you could whatever.
Okay.
I think that you were failing your wife. And I think that, and you sound pretty young. So you were failing your wife, and somebody from the outside was clocking the fact that you was failing her because maybe she didn't even know. Because a lot of times the person in the relationship, they don't even know that they're being failed by their significant other. Somebody else called it out for them, spotted it. She brought it to your attention. And instead of you taking accountability, you blame the outside force and never corrected your behavior. And then y'all ended up getting divorced.
Hmm. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
So your ex-wife just her friend or her mom or whoever just made up issues out of thin air, and she believed them so much so that it led to y'all's divorce.
No, it wasn't just as far as like her just it wasn't just her mother. It was other people as well. It
So
was
multiple people saw this. Multiple people, not one person. Multiple
yeah.
people. That makes it
Mm-hmm.
worse. That makes it even less believable what you're saying. See what I'm saying? Like that doesn't that just you're me. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't sound now what you're saying, doesn't it sound less believable? If it was one person now, even then I'd have been that's kind of hard to believe. But now you're saying multiple people was clocking your shit, telling her about it, and it led to
It
y'all
wasn't
getting
really much. It wasn't really much for them to clock. I was most of the time I'm overseas, like working.
oh, so you were neglectful.
I was working. I was in the military. I wasn't being
Yeah.
neglectful.
I mean, not even intent, impact over intent, right? You abandoned her.
That's abandoning somebody because I'm at work that I have a service to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not, I'm telling you by
Never
definition
mind.
it is.
You,
It's not like
if
it's not like
that's-
you did it
if that's
intentionally.
If
It
that's
is.
neglect, then okay. I see where you're coming from.
It's not,
Look,
brother.
it's a military job where I have a contract, and I got married while I was in this contract. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm just, hey, this is something that I do. There wasn't.
You didn't spring it on her. You didn't spring it on her. She knew.
No,
that,
it was
that you
nothing.
had the job.
It was something I already had to do.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, and you're taking it as a personal attack. I'm just telling you that
I wasn't taking it as a personal attack. I'm telling you exactly what I had to do. It was my job.
I know.
I'm not. I don't take it. I don't take nothing personal. An opinion is an opinion.
Perfect.
I gotta go. I gotta I gotta hurry up and get ready for school. But I'm still listening.
All right, bet. Yeah, what I was saying was that if you are in the military, that's all fine and well. But if the person you're with, even if they signed up, like even if they got into it and you've never deployed, you've never been away for 6 months, you've never been away for 90 days, or whatever the case may be, they've never experienced that, right? They've never experienced that. And then you get into a relationship with the person, even though you were in the military the whole time, and now you get deployed, and now they have to experience that. Yeah, that's different. And they could feel abandoned, and they can feel neglected, and it doesn't matter. And I get it. It's your job, and then like I get it. It's a terrible situation for both of y'all, but I understand how she feels, and I understand you having a job. That's what I'm saying. If that's literally what happened, I'm not even knocking you. I'm not even blaming you. See what I'm saying? Like if that's what happened, if she thought that she would be okay with your military lifestyle, and then you know, that happens, then fine. You got it. But it is what it is. After hours, Brand again. Go ahead, brother. Said something interesting in the comments when I was talking about abandoning your kids, or I'm sorry, abandoning your wife. You said, I'm abandoning my wife because I'm working.
Shout out to you, big dog. I was just making an observation. I'm trying to figure this out like you, because I want to learn. I'm trying to learn how to be a better person in my situation too. Mm-hmm. And I've been faced with the same thing before, where you work too much, you got dreams, you do your clothing on the weekends, you rap, you do so many different things. Before I met her, I was actually doing these things before. You get what I'm saying? And that's where, like I said, the last person that was on Perk, that's where me and him, I can relate to that, because when you met me, I was working. Now, if you came into my life for a certain level of security because of the work that you've seen, or it could be my personality or anything of the sort. You get what I'm saying? Different people do get married for different reasons.
Okay. I think most.
And that has not, that. Mm-hmm.
No, you're good. I'm sorry. That has nothing. What?
No, you good, big dog. I was finished.
Oh, okay. No, okay. So
I'm at work too, so I'm about to mute.
No, you good. You good. So you're saying that it sounds like, if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like you're saying your current spouse or woman, whatever she is to you, has voiced her concerns about how little attention you pay her. And your justification for your lack of attentiveness is you're working and you're trying to hustle on the side. That's what I'm getting from this. Is that a safe assumption?
Almost. Actually, it's not even about I get plenty of attention. It's just, let's imagine if somebody else was working on the other end, or she, did exactly what I was doing too. You get what I'm saying? Then we wouldn't have to worry about those type of things.
No, I didn't say you get attention. I said you giving her attention. There's a lack of attention that you're giving her.
No, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. I give her attention. It's just around my work schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to work. I have to be able to pay the bills and things of that nature. So it's not like me abandoning her to go get a check, or we wouldn't even have no place to come to.
No, I hear that, but okay. What I'm trying to understand is if there's no neglect going on, then there wouldn't be any complaints. It's not just your schedule. See what I'm saying? It's not about when you show her the attention. She don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your schedule is actually affecting the attention that you can show her, though. I'm guessing that's why the schedule matters. Go ahead, Reggie. No. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. So a couple of things. Yeah, thanks. Because I didn't know if you saw the hand there. So a couple of things. So how I look at marriage is essentially you can marry your best friend and you can love each other for the rest of your life, for the rest of eternity. And to me, that's a contract that I'm willing to sign any day of the week. But I did want to say one thing though, because from what I know about your history, your wife was like very disappointed with you, right? As a husband. Right.
Yes.
So right. So the only reason why you're not divorced is because your wife said, "Hey, I'm willing to continue," right?
No.
And basically,
no, that's wrong. Like,
okay,
like, I'll use your example versus me. So you said, y'all grew apart, right?
Right.
That didn't happen with me. I grew up. Me and my wife got closer. So y'all grew apart. We got closer. But it's not that we grew apart and then she just decided to stay with me while I continued. We were going like this, and then she was like, "Yo, you need to come this way," and I kept fighting her. Then I was like, "Fuck it, I'll come in." I met her where she was at. She said we're going apart, and then this is how I want you to show up for me, and you said, I can't do it.
No, not really. That's not what happened.
That ain't what happened? All right.
That's not what happened at all. I said, okay, you and I were growing apart, and you're going your way, and I'm going my way, and I don't see how us were coming together. It's going to facilitate something that we both want. Like if we both meet in the middle, I don't think I'm going to be happy. I don't think you're going to be happy, and so it's best if we go our separate ways. Now, guess what? Afterwards, she flourished, and I'm really happy to see that she's doing that. Me, I'm like, I still do want marriage. Like I said, I would sign that contract any day of the week. But I think that's what can end up happening, and that's okay. People break up and even make up and get back together all the time. It's pretty much a part of life. Now, marriage, as far as that's concerned, there are so many issues that could come in between two people that it just is what it is, man. That's just life.
But Reggie, you just repeat. That's what I said happened. It's not. The thing is, what you described is what I said before you. But the thing is you guys. I don't know why y'all fight me so hard as if I don't know. Like, I promise you, it's for me personally, right? Because of how much shit I've had to, you know what I'm saying? Like all the ways in which I've had to grow and learn and all that stuff. Like the things when I hear men say, I know instantly what it is. Because it's only so many things. Like people love to think their story is so unique. It's not. I've heard your story 1,000 times. 1,000 times I've heard it. Like in real life, online, in movies and books and stuff. What you just described, that happens all the time, right?
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I think that's okay. I think people separating is okay. People divorcing is okay.
Me too.
Now, is that preferential?
No.
Is that something that you're thinking the day that you get married? No, hell no. Nobody's getting married saying, you know what, I just, I'm signing a 5-year contract, or I'm signing a 10 or 20-year contract. No one's thinking about the end, right? So I don't think it's bad. I think, I do see marriage definitely in my future. Mm-hmm. Because I think that there are just so many benefits. Now, somebody in the comments, and you're probably gonna say, well, there are no benefits to women. But I do think that love and happiness are benefits that can't be replaced through platonic relationships. I think that there are real benefits.
I don't think there aren't benefits to marriage for women. What I think is that most men don't benefit most women. You see what I'm saying? Those are two different discussions. I don't disagree with, because women benefit men. So in theory, men could benefit women too. But the question now becomes, are most men beneficial to most women? And the answer is overwhelmingly and resoundingly, no, we're not. Like, that's all, y'all, you know, that's always my thing. My thing isn't ever like, no, men bad, women good. It's not about that. That's what people want to hear, because they don't want to hear what I'm actually saying. What I'm actually saying is we can speak in theory all day long. We can speak in theory all day long, right? I'm talking about in reality. I'm saying in the vast majority of cases, what is most likely to happen? What's most likely to happen is you're married as a man, you benefit immensely. It benefits you. You're happy, you're healthy, you flourish during the marriage. She doesn't. She's forgotten. Her feelings are pushed to the side. Her needs are pushed to the side. Nobody's pouring into her. She's pouring into everybody. Her cup doesn't get replenished. Blah, 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 blah. The divorce comes out of nowhere, so you say. Not you, but the man. She flourishes afterwards. You go downhill because the whole time, everything that was beneficial about you was attached to what she was doing for you. And everything that was negative in her life was attached to your problematic behaviors and you not showing up for her. And that is the general dynamics of a male-female relationship, a man-woman relationship, heterosexual relationship. Sadly, it's like we argue, we go around and around and around and around about this stuff. And I feel like what I'm saying is so provable. It's so obvious. Like, the thing that I'm saying does not feel like extreme or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like very like normal in our society. It feels like the most basic understanding of relationship dynamics between men and women. That's why when you told me your story, I knew instantly what happened. Believe it or not, I knew exactly what happened. Because there's only like 2 or 3 ways that it could have played out based on what you said, brother. It's not that complicated. But men refuse to grow. And when you try to say like, oh yeah, your wife stayed with you. Yeah, you're right. I give my wife all the props. You know that. I give her all the props. But I also, it's a fine line. I also, though, have to acknowledge a huge reason why we are together is because of the work that I am doing and I've done. It's also because of her patience. They're not mutually exclusive. I'll acknowledge both of them, right? The reason why the only reason why I even like to bring up the work that I've done is to show men you gotta do the work. You can't get around it. There's no shortchanging the other woman. There is no way to shortchange your wife or your spouse or your girlfriend, whatever. You can't do it. She is going to leave you eventually. That's it. So I said, hey, you know what? I could lose my wife, I could lose my family, I could be worse off, or I could grow the fuck up. I chose to grow up. I chose not to make excuses. I chose not to blame my wife. I chose not to fall into the stereotypical male trap, the male-minded trap of, oh no, it's the woman's fault and she got to meet me halfway. How? Why she got to meet me halfway when she been doing 90% of the work, when she been doing 85% of the work? That's crazy. That's crazy. And if you are honest as a man, if you are honest with yourself, you would figure this shit out. Like, if you were willing to look yourself in the mirror and have the tough conversation and be like, yo, nah, it really is me. Yes, whatever makes y'all feel better. Your wife isn't perfect. Yep, she gets on your nerves sometimes. Yep, she overcooks the steak. Yep, she doesn't listen, like whatever the fuck, whatever. She don't give you as much body, much smacks, whatever you're saying. Cool. I'll acknowledge all of that. But at the end of the day, your behaviors are the ones that are actually driving a relationship down. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why that is controversial. I do know why it is to me. Trust me. But it shouldn't be. And it is a little annoying talking to men, especially men that's been through it, and they still won't acknowledge. Leads me to believe the same thing is going to happen again. Like, Reggie, you're saying like, yeah, I'll be open to another relationship. The same thing is going to happen. The only chance you have of the thing that happened to you in your previous marriage not happening in your new marriage if you get married is if the new woman lowers her expectations. That's it. And men do that all the time, by the way. Men do. So I give you that. You could do it. Men go all the time. They get married to a woman that is strong-willed, won't, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, Trey. A woman that refuses to shrink herself, and they get divorced from that woman to find a woman who is willing to shrink and conform and contort and to twist herself into the crevices and spaces that makes that man feel comfortable. And those women exist. And if you can find that woman, fine. You can be married for 50 years to that woman. I believe it. But if you find a woman that's anything like your ex, the same shit's gonna happen again. Because you haven't acknowledged what the problems were. You just like, we just grew apart. That's what I got to say.
So cool. So this is what happens when, okay, so your perspective is essentially that in any and all cases, men are at fault.
Nope.
That's what I'm guessing. Well,
Nope.
you haven't said anything that would lead me otherwise to think differently.
I have.
You haven't. You said zero. You should be honest. You should be honest here too. You said zero. Okay.
No, I haven't though. But that's what you're doing. Hold on, Reggie. You're doing the thing that I just said men do all the time. They don't want to hear what I'm saying. So you make up shit. That's not what I said. Yes, women can be just as bad as men in a relationship.
I'm not. Okay,
they can be, but are they, generally speaking? No. Go ahead.
So you're not letting me continue. All right, cool.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying my ex-wife was bad. I'm not saying that at all. Right? But at least we get to a point where we can understand that there are various aspects of a relationship that could end that relationship, right? And yeah, definitely not. I'm definitely not gonna be like, oh, well, my ex-wife locked in. Not, you've never heard me say that shit. That's crazy. But if we understand that two people can be different, we can understand that two people can grow apart. Now, yesterday I was on a whole nother live, and I've said this many times. I'm like, yeah, I committed a lot of mistakes. To this day, I still think about a lot of the things that I did, and I'm trying to correct those. I don't think that I think my case is a very unique situation. That's what I'm saying. Like,
why? What's unique about your situation? Your situation sounds stereotypical as fuck. It sounds like every other man that's unwilling to take accountability. You sound exactly like every other man. I don't know why you think you sound any different, but you don't sound no different to me. You sound exactly the same. You sound like me. Actually, Reggie, you sound like me. You sound like me 10 years ago. You sound like me 10 years ago when I was on that precipice, when I was on that proverbial cliff, and I had the opportunity. I could have jumped off and just fucking blew it all up, or I could have stepped back and went and fixed it, and I chose to step back and fix it. Yes. But you jumped off. You said, nah, it ain't worth it. It's too hard. It's not my responsibility. And you blew it up. Because it doesn't make, sir, unless there is some type of like mental health issue going on, unless you're like Kanye or she's Kanye, right? Unless that's the situation. If you guys are two mentally stable people, there is, I believe you. That's what I'm saying. I believe you were. There is
I said out loud, my bad. I need to.
No, you're good. I believe you. I believe you guys were mentally stable people. That's what I'm saying. Unless, and if that wasn't the case, then I would give you a pass. Hey man, I got diagnosed with bipolarism. I got diagnosed. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Cool. I give you a pass on that. But outside of that, growing apart isn't a thing. It's really not a thing. I promise you, it's not. It doesn't even make sense. How do you grow? What do you mean you grew apart? It doesn't make sense. Like me and my wife don't like all the same shit. She used to like stuff that I still like. I like stuff now that she used to like. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not growing apart. What are you talking about? We're still, our core values are exactly the same. They always have been, because we check with each other about our core values. Man, growing apart isn't a thing. Like, unless when y'all got, here's what I'm saying. Growing apart is when y'all met, you were liberal, she was liberal. Now she's conservative and you're liberal. Did that happen?
So you're saying that we had different political views? We had different views. So we had different views on life as we got older. That's pretty much what happened.
Like
And
what? Like what type of views? Give me an example of these views.
I'm not gonna get too into it. Well, she's not here though. She's not here.
No, I know. I'm gonna take your word for it.
I'm giving her all the respect in the world. I'm giving her all the respect in the world. That's so you described a perfect example, right? Someone becoming conservative, the other person becoming more liberal, right? You could actually, I would say that's a good summation into kind of what happened, and that we just grew apart in those kind of ways. And after a while, it's like, okay, well, when are we going to come back together to basically like, like, oh, I'm a liberal. When are you going to get liberal again? Well, I'm conservative. What are what's going on? That's actually a very good description of it without going too much into it.
Except for you became more conservative.
No. This so if you, I'm just using this as an example.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Right, brother. I'm very.
I was like, wait, I know you heard them say she became more conservative.
I am actually very, very liberal. Donating member too, by the way. Anyway, that being said, that's pretty much what happened, and just using that as an analogy. Man. So to come back together, people are, and that actually did happen in the past couple of elections and during the pandemic. People are like, hey, I'm looking at my husband here on this laptop and he's going down this rabbit hole and X, Y, Z. And other people are like, oh, I'm looking at my wife and blah, blah, blah. So that type of stuff does happen.
You know what's happening during it? I love that you brought up. I am
so glad you brought up that point because that's actually a perfect analogy of kind of what happened. But go ahead.
No, but you know what's crazy? Because in 2020, when, the divorce, when people around that time, because people started getting divorced because of the pandemic, the men were coming home and the women started to realize all types of shit about their men. All types of shit. Like it really went left really fast for the men. First and foremost, well, partially went left for the women too. First and foremost, the men became exceedingly to AB, the women, the children. That was one problem. Secondly, the men started to the women started to notice how little the man was willing to do in the relationship, how little he was willing to do in the household, right? So the woman noticed that even though he was at home, she would notice he wouldn't help. She would do all the, what I'm saying? She was doing all this stuff. He had more time, but he still wouldn't step up and help. She was like, wait, why aren't you helping more? I need more help. And so they saw that, oh, the man, he doesn't really care about me. He uses this as an excuse. He uses work as an excuse to hide from his responsibilities at home. They started to clock that. They started to see the man's habits, what he was doing when he was at home, because they were around each other more. Like, a lot of that exposed male behavior to the women. The women had no idea how men actually acted. And on the flip side, the men realized that they didn't really like their families. They really, it really became clear to them. Like, they were like, I really don't like my family. And they started to act out.
So two things about that. First, I do have to address something in the comments. Someone said I'm not liberal. I'm a card-carrying member of Planned Parenthood. Okay, I'm a full-on member. I have a what's it called? So I don't want to hear that BS. Anyway, by the way, that's just not an example to throw around. But I donate all over the place. I am very liberal. So secondly, about what you just said. So my ex and I, we actually did have an issue like that because I remote work and she actually was going into work. So yeah, that trade-off of, hey, now you're in the house all the time. It's like, Reggie, well, what are you doing with your time? Well, right now Reggie's on TikTok, he's not working, so little things like that. So I understand that kind of dynamic where all of a sudden, oh, well, yeah, hey, I get to see what you're doing all day, Reggie. Okay. Something like that.
So okay. It's just fun. I'm just listening and it just sounds like, it didn't sound like you guys grew apart. It sounds like she learned who you really were. Right?
Not at all.
No?
It was more like it was more like
Reggie, you
what's it
funny,
called?
man. You funny.
No, not at all, not at all. It was the what do you call it? Um, hold on one second.
Okay.
Thank you, Yellow. But yeah, it was so to give you that exact example, the conservative, what you call it, um, liberal thing, what to call it. That's a good example. But I do want to say that I came up here on the panel to originally say that I think that marriage is dope. I want
You
marriage.
did say that. You said it in the comments. And I was like, that's an interesting take that he thinks marriage is dope.
I love marriage. I love when people are in love.
Nah, I don't think you love marriage.
The people in the comments are saying this guy is talking about love, and it's like, yeah, love is an amazing thing. And also, the issue is that when too many people, I don't know if people are really getting together for love. You know, at the end of the day, marriage is more than just love, right? We can all.
Who's not getting together for love? Like, here's what I'm saying. Again, the dynamics, how the dynamics play out. The people that are sold the fairy tale of love are not men. Men created the concept of love and we sold it to women. But we don't practice it. We sold the idea to women. We told the women it's about love. We told them that, and then we knew it was always about their labor. But we told women and we sold women on the lie that the marriage is built on love. Here's how that plays out in marriages. Because the women are loving the man and the man is using the woman. She doesn't know. She thinks it's all about love. So when you say people are not getting, like, some people are not getting married for the right reasons, or not getting married for love, that's men. Overwhelmingly, that would be men. Of course, there are some women who don't get married for love, again, because I'm not speaking in absolutes. But in general, most men don't love women. Most M's don't love W's. Most M's don't love W's, unfortunately.
Let me quickly say something. I let it happen because I said that marriage is dope, and I'm a proponent for marriage. Now to your point, public. Do I know if men are getting together for marriage? A lot of men on this app aren't. I have a lot of friends. I'll tell you this, out of my friend group, they are all married. Except for two guys. Actually, I should say that was recently. Like, they're not in the friend group. Like, outside that, two guys aren't married anymore. The rest are married, and yeah. So I think that just at the end of the day, a lot of people, myself, you get married to your best friend, and then all of a sudden, just random shit happens, man. And it's like at the end of the day, that's why I say, like, some people.
Hold on, Reggie, I got a correction for you. Do you think if I spoke to your ex-wife that she would have the same feelings of what happened in y'all marriage, y'all divorce? Would she say the same thing?
She would say the same thing.
If you had to guess?
Yeah, she would say the same thing. I think that, random shit. I think that if you talk to her, she would say the same thing. But yeah, man, like, that's why I say at the end of the day, I'm not out here like, oh my God, I don't like her, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. That's just not what it is, man. But again, I came up here to talk about the how dope marriage is. And then that's how I came up here, man.
It's crazy. Look, you know what's crazy? So again, like, I'm a married man, and I love my marriage because I love my wife. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily like a marriage thing or, whatever, right? Like, a marriage is just an institution as far as I'm concerned. I love the relationship I have with my wife, right? So whether we're married or not, I love to be with her. That's what I'm saying. I love my family. I love my kids. You know what I'm saying? I love my life. I love my family. Marriage, though, is not dope for W's. It's just not. I wish it were, but it's not. Marriage isn't dope for W's. It's dope for M's. It's dope for us, but it's not dope for them. It's not dope for them.
But here's the thing: if women are telling you that marriage is not dope for them, then the women you are speaking to, and you can probably make an inference out of the whole, right? If you're speaking to enough women and you're like, hey, I've talked to enough women and they're all saying that marriage is a bad deal.
I'm not getting mine only from the women that I'm talking. I mean, I'm getting it mainly. I'm actually, the reason why I'm so confident in what I'm saying is because science would support it. Not, you know what I'm saying? Like, not just what women, anecdotal experiences of women, even though if I did that as well, they would, like, the thing is about what, I've said this a million times, but like the shit that I have heard from women for my whole life, right? And I just filed it away, like, you know, some of it I believe, some of it I was indifferent to, and some of it I was like, nah, I reject it, right? But I will tell you this, not a woman. Women have said stuff that I don't agree with, that I know isn't true, like an individual woman. But women in general, any common thing that I've heard from women since I was a kid that I can remember, I have I would say at this point, 90% of that shit has been proven to be true. Like women say shit and then like, I'll be like, damn, that sounds crazy. And then like 2 weeks later, it'll be like, a report just came out that women actually are smart and they do this thing and they do that thing, and men actually do this thing and the children, and I'm sitting there like, wow, it's like just a matter of time at this point. Like, it's just a matter of time. Like, women have been saying for forever that marriages don't benefit them. And then you look at the analytics and the marriages don't benefit them. That's what I'm saying. Women have forever been saying how AB men are to them, right? And then you look at the analytics and it supports how AB men are to women. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you just see it play out every single, so all you have to do is not be biased as a man. Like, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be biased, don't be triggered, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, just analyze the situation logically, remove your feelings from it as much as possible. The only feelings that should be there is empathy, right? Because I make sure that I'm empathetic and I'm sympathetic in these scenarios so that I can understand it. But outside of that, I just read the landscape. I just survey the landscape. I look at the information. This is what it's saying. This is what history has said. Blah 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 blah. And here we are. And that has helped me tremendously. Hey Ron, hold on. Hey Ron, you can come up if you want to. I'm gonna go on and mute you for the live though. We're gonna see. I wanna know what the joke is. But yeah. So that's really all it is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, no worries. All right, cool. So yeah, I was saying earlier that if that's what you are seeing, and I don't disagree with you. My mom didn't get married to my dad for a reason. All right. I've seen plenty of women, even in my family, have divorces, multiple divorces, seen bad behavior by men, X, Y, and Z. So yes, I do understand where you're coming from. All right. So I'm not going to come out here and be like, oh, well, you know what? It doesn't work for most women because I exist, right? That'd be kind of crazy and wild, right? So I agree with you there. I agree with you. I do think, though, that to say it's always bad, though, like it's in your prompt, isn't.
I don't say it's always bad.
It's in your prompt, though. As you said,
it's always been bad. Yeah,
it's always been bad. So it would always be.
It has always been bad since its inception. Marriage, the root of marriage is the subjugation of women. It's always been bad from its inception. They didn't invent marriage to help women out. They invented marriage to subjugate women further. What do you mean?
Do you think at that point that you are removing women's own agency in a way?
Me?
To enter into a marriage that they want and that can be actually loving. Like, yeah, I think that's removing a woman's agency to have control over her own destiny. There are plenty of women.
How am I doing that?
Because she herself could actually make for a good marriage Uh, Someone says women didn't have agency. Okay. But yeah, people could make their own choices to enter. Of course, that's basically no one's forcing you to get married, right? But
Wait,
also,
you mean in 20? Okay. So, oh, wait. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. In 2025, you're saying that women aren't forced to get married. You're right. Are women compelled to get married?
Too, and better for it that they're not forced to get married, right? That would lead to a lot
Are
of
women
bullshit.
are women compelled to get married?
They are not compelled to get married.
That's a lie.
They're not. That
That's
is
a
not
lie
a
and a
lie.
half. They are.
How you
It
doing?
is.
And we
Okay.
would see more marriages. We would see more marriages. The marriage rate is collapsing, right? So
The marriage rate isn't. What percent?
it
What?
is.
Wait, no. The majority of Americans still get married.
But we can see a downward trend, though. No.
Yeah, but that's not because women. Listen to what I'm saying, Reggie. If women were compelled to be married, the marriage rate would be at like 2%. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If women were propagandized to get married, you think it's low now. Stop propagandizing women. Stop it. Stop tomorrow. Stop selling them on the diamond ring, the engagement, the pageantry, the love, the fucking fairy tale. Stop. Stop doing it. Essentially get rid of Disney. Get rid. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of that shit, right? I bet you any fucking thing. I bet you anything. In 10 years, 5% of people will be married. 10% of people will be married, probably. Get rid of The Bachelor, get rid of The Bachelorette, get rid of Love at First Sight, get rid of Love is Blind, get rid of all that shit, get rid of all of that stuff, and just don't even talk about marriage, right? Just leave it up to people's own devices. Sir, marriage would crumble. It would crumble without propaganda. If it was just word of mouth, listen to what I'm saying. If we just use, if all they did were studies and use word of mouth, no, 99% of women would be uninterested in marriage in 5 years, 10 years maybe, in tops, like one generation, done. So women are compelled to be married. They are. And men are compelled to use marriage as a tool to manipulate and control women. Because it is. I don't know if you know this, but even right now, like for an example, in Kentucky, women cannot get, if a man and a woman are married and they have children, the default custodial is 50-50, right? That is dangerous. That's dangerous. They are in so many red states right now. They're trying to do away with no default marriage. They're trying to make it to where they're trying to go back, because it used to be you couldn't get divorced if you were pregnant. All these things, they're trying every which way they can to trap women and keep women in marriages. They're taking away women's ability to get an education. They're taking away women's ability to make money. The wealth, the pay gap has increased over the last year. It got worse for everybody. For women, I'm saying, for every group of women, black women, white women, every group of women. It's gone back. They're doing everything they possibly can to force women into unhealthy relationships with men and to keep them there. And you're saying that, oh no, women just want to get married. They don't. They don't just want to get married. They're being propagandized. It's a trap. It's a trick. Go ahead, Meta T.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm doing good, fam. Pat, you can come up, brother, if you would like to.
Bless
Go ahead,
you.
I'm listening.
Keep killing it. You always got some fire debates. But I do disagree. I think marriage is a beautiful thing, and I think that one thing I do agree with, if it stopped being promoted as much, it'll definitely, go on a downtrend. But I think it'll double back, because those who just value family and healthy families, they're gonna notice that the people with happy families are those who like have the values of like being married and stick together, But what is the definition of marriage that you're referring to? Like the document?
I'm talking about the institution of marriage. Yeah.
Okay, because it's a lot of variations. I would think what comes to mind is just like how slavery, they used to jump the broom. like, in secret and be married. I think
There
that
was no, but hold on, but my point, like, okay, the reason why I don't consider those marriages, even in spirit, I get the idea, but the reason why you can't have marriage without the institution, because there are no repercussions to a divorce. See what I'm saying? To me, for marriage to be a thing, it's not the commitment. You're already committed.
Yeah.
Right? If you're in a relationship, you're already committed. So you don't need like an institution. You don't need any of that. You're already in a relationship. You're just committing to each other further in a relationship. Like, okay, fine. That doesn't that didn't do anything. Without the institution, which that's what marriage is, then there is no such thing as a marriage. So jumping over a broom isn't marriage because it wasn't recognized. Even on the whatever, it wasn't recognized. On the plantation, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like the slave owner was like, oh, you married? Okay, cool. So you could, paternity leave.
Of course not. They didn't care about
point.
slaves. But I'm thinking like within the culture and the community itself. I think like within the village and the culture.
What do you think they did differently in the village? Once you jump the broom, what do you think? What do you think changed in the village?
I think it's just a public declaration, like, all right, this is my person. And I think, those who value that, and those who didn't. But the people that do value that marriage and that public statement, like, this is my person, I think they, benefit from it. And not everybody, it's not for everybody.
But what changed?
It's now a public declaration, and it's, they just.
So nobody knew prior to them jumping the broom that the people were already together?
I mean, they knew, but now it's just like, this is my person, like, to death type deal. Like, this is my person.
I know, but that doesn't. You understand what I'm saying? Though nothing changed.
But
nothing changed. There's no institution behind it, my guy. There's nothing behind it. There's no contract. There's nothing.
To you, in your eyes, the value and the weight is the institution and the contract. What I'm saying,
it's not that. That's what I'm trying to tell. I hear what you're saying. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not my opinion of marriage. That's what I mean. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if nothing changes, then marriage isn't real. What makes the marriage real are the repercussions that are established under the institution of marriage. See what I'm saying? So you can't have a marriage without repercussions. You can't have a marriage without benefits. You can't have a marriage without potential repercussions. You can't, like, without those things, it's not real. That's my point.
And I hear you. All those things are valid. And what I'm saying, additionally to those things, is that what else that exists is the respect within the culture that, oh, you're married. Because it's like, just like when you're dating or somebody posts like girlfriend right now socially, oh, such and such got a boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay, cool. That's cool. They're married. Oh, like, that exists. That whole clique of like people respect it more, that exists. And like, just because you don't respect it, don't mean other people won't.
People respect what more. Just so you guys know, if I invited you and you don't come up, you muted for the live. If you come up, you can get unmuted. But I'm inviting you and I'm muting you at the same simultaneously. That's not how that works though. That's what I'm saying. That's just not like nothing changed in the community because everybody knew that BPG and her husband were already together before they jumped the broom. Everybody already knew. A lot of times they had kids together already. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I hear you.
Everybody already knew. It wasn't like if somebody. My point is, if somebody was going to disrespect your relationship, they're gonna do it regardless if you jump the broom or not. And if somebody is going to respect your relationship, they're gonna do it regardless if you're gonna jump the broom or not. So nothing changed. Nothing changed. The community did nothing change. I promise you, nothing changed. But if you get that white man paperwork,
and that's where we differ. You think nothing changed, and I'm saying like something does change. Like people,
but you can't state the thing that changed, brother.
You just
said it changed. No, you didn't. Nothing changed.
I stated it, and you said if somebody can do that, if they don't care, then it doesn't matter. Only the paperwork matters.
Reiterate it for me one more time. What changes after you jump the broom without the institution?
Without the institution, those who value and respect the title of being married, they have respect for it. And in the culture and the community, people will respect that. Those who don't care for that title in marriage, it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't process that anything changed. But there are going to be individuals, I see it all the time, dating market. Oh, you got boyfriend, girlfriend, cool. Oh, you married? Boom. It's the shift in people's mind. And just because a large
In
demographic,
whose mind? In whose mind?
the
Think about
people
what you're
that,
saying.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
want you to hold on, wait. This is what
I'm
I'm
thinking.
saying. Hold on. So you're telling me
Yes.
that if there was a woman that was
Mhm.
willing to disrespect your relationship with your girlfriend, she wouldn't be willing to do it once you were married?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying
Okay.
is those individuals exist. That type of woman does exist where she doesn't care. That man and woman exists where they don't respect marriage, they don't care. But there is a demographic of individuals that exist, no matter how everybody feels. There's people that respect it. There's people that will cross that line, and there's people that won't because they respect it. For the people that don't care, you don't care. For the people that do value it, they value it. And just because you don't care is not going to make somebody not care. And just because we probably care is not going to make the other side care. But that division, it exists no matter what the government does or X, Y, and Z. There's going to be people that value that and people that don't. And that's all I'm saying.
I'm
And for the people,
gonna be honest with you. You still haven't articulated how it's. Go ahead, BPG. You don't win 360. I promise you, brother. I'm not making this. You read the comments.
Okay.
I'll let BPG go. I swear to God, if she can, BPG, can you explain to me what he's trying to say? If I'm missing what he's trying to say, possibly.
No, and I'm not gonna say the words that I want to say in response
Okay.
to it because it does it rhymes with oven mitt, and I think that the thing is, it is very hard for men to process how women don't benefit from marriage because they benefit so greatly. Even the idea, and I'm glad that he said it multiple times so that we can be clear that, you know, there are people who respect it. As soon as you get married, there are people who respect it. You know, people hear that you're married and they go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were a girlfriend, not a wife. Oh, my goodness." That is tied to ownership. That has zero to do with people's respect for marriage. They know that you now belong, quote unquote, to a man. Your ownership to him, your ties to him makes a man not want to cross a line because he does not want to have to stand up to him. He doesn't want like the idea of having to be challenged by another man. So if he feels like you belong to someone, yes, it does shift how he interacts with you because he knows that you have an owner, but it doesn't have anything to do with the actual respect of marriage. When we try to explain the benefits of marriage, and especially when it comes to what women don't have in comparison to men, the balance gets real outstanding, if I'm honest. For most women, when we talk about the idea of love and marriage and all of these things, so much of it is tied to control. So much of it is tied to these very, very harsh patriarchal ideas that really leave her in a space where she's not able to own herself and who it is, you know, she might possibly think she is. There's an excerpt, it was an excerpt that I read from the book that I talked about yesterday. And it was a little hard, but it made a whole lot of sense. And basically what it talked about is how marriage is, people aren't entering into marriages based on love. They're entering into marriages based on like some level of obligation and trying to find some protection. But for women, those same things aren't the same. The excerpt reads, bear with me, it's not very long. Marriage is primarily an economic arrangement, an insurance pact. It differs from the ordinary life insurance agreement only in that it is more binding, more exacting. Its returns are insignificantly small compared with the investments. In taking out an insurance policy, one pays for it in dollars and cents, always at liberty to discontinue payments. If, however, women's premium is a husband, she pays for it with her name, her privacy, her self-respect, her very life until death doeth part. Moreover, the marriage insurance condemns her to lifelong dependency, to parasitism, to complete uselessness, individual as well as social. Man too pays his toll, but as his sphere is wider, marriage does not limit him as much as woman. He feels his chains more in an economic sense. She is giving up every aspect of herself in order to be in marriage, in order to be married, in order to, you know, become wife. He is not giving up that same. He's not giving up that same thing. He is not giving away a piece of himself. He keeps his name. He can keep his job. He can keep his career. Even if they have children, his life does not shift. Hers does exponentially. Hers completely changes on the basis of being married and on the basis of being a mother. That is why it's different. I didn't mean to scare him off, but you know. But the truth is the truth.
I was looking for that answer because it wasn't adding up. Saying that if you tell a person, if you can't get married legally, right? If you can't like actually get the protections and the repercussions of the institution, right? You can't get that white man paperwork. What up, DJ? You ain't married because nothing changes. Nothing. What the hell changes? I could tell my girlfriend I'm gonna be with you until the day I die, and I can tell everybody. I could put it online if I want to. What's the difference? Look, in 2025, social media age. What's the difference between me tweeting out, Facebooking, Instagramming, TikToking that I am dedicated to my woman for life versus jumping the fucking broom? Like, what's the difference? It's the same damn thing. It's the same thing. Bell Arts, you already know the drill. You can come up and get it unmuted. But it's the same fucking thing. I'm confused. What are we like? If the institution isn't there, then marriage isn't real. It's not. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. It doesn't make any sense. And y'all trying to figure out every fucking way to make marriage mean something without the institution. It's hilarious. It's wild to me. Go ahead.
I think the best part about being married is being around so many married people and finding out that most of them don't want to be married. That's the funniest part, if I'm honest with you. Like, and when you are in, and I'm sure you can attest to this, when you are in a marriage where you actually like your person, and you not only are you attracted to them, you like their mind, you like to talk to them, you like to spend time with them, and you get around people, and it's not hard to find. You get around other people and they are married and you realize how much they really don't like that. But like they are in an institutionalized marriage, because if you ask them what they like about their person, oh yeah, you know, they do this for me and you know, they get this done. And every time I ask, like it's this and this and this and that. But they also have a willingness to like have a wandering eye and all of that stuff. It almost shocks you until you realize like, no, this is actually how marriage was designed. It was designed for a man to find a woman that he could show off and impress other men with, but not for him to actually have any real attachment to her. He was trying to find, this is why I listened to a guy talk about, and we've heard this phrase a lot, you know, that you have to be a wife before, you know, a man finds you. Like you have to already be a wife. You have to have those characteristics. And if you ever ask what those characteristics are, it is always a bond servant, a slave. It's always that. It's always, because those characteristics are unique to any woman. Now, if you tell me that you like the way I smile, you like my jokes, you like the way, you know, you like the way that I have one dimple, or you know what I mean? Things that are specifically tied to me, that is a love of me as a person. You enjoy my mind. I love the way you talk about this, and I love that you're passionate about this. That cannot be duplicated. A nurse, a maid, a cook, somebody who's gonna take care of your kids, a nanny,
a sex doll,
a sex doll, all of that stuff can be replicated. You can find plenty of women who do that.
Most women do that.
Most of them with no issue, and will gladly take care of you.
And Add to that, loyal. Most women
There
will
you
do
go.
that and be loyal.
Because
That's
we
why-
don't get social currency by not being loyal. We lose out. Men don't.
They don't. And that's why I will say to the death of me that women are, that's why it's so easy for a man to find a woman, but not vice versa. Because most women will do that and be loyal, and that's the perfect mate to most men.
Yeah.
What's up, Cam?
What's up? How you doing?
Hungry? What's good with you?
Not much, man. I don't know. One of your mods keep muting me, man. I just, I just try to slide by and say what's up. I'm getting muted every like 5 seconds, man.
Did you just try to slide by him and say what's up, or did you say something in the? I didn't even see you when you came in. Did you say something in the comments?
Yeah, man. No, I was just, speaking to people in the comments. I was just wondering what's up with the mods, though.
The mods are well. They do a great job in these lives. So if they muted you, you was saying something weird in the comments. They probably tried to invite you up. Are you able to? Did they invite you up? Yep, they probably invited you up. And there you go. That's how you get muted. You only get muted when you don't come up. If you come up, you can rock out, right? Because we don't like the Twitter fingers. We don't like that. We stand on business. This is stand on business live. You know
I
what I'm saying?
didn't build enough currency in this live. I usually come by and speak to you. Yeah, I speak to you.
No.
I don't come in the lives.
Hell no. Ain't no currency. The currency gets spent as soon as you drop down. It's a whole new day. The new day start. Because you think you can come in alive and be problematic because you came up once? Nah, you got to come up every time you want to come in here. Look, I'm gonna help y'all out. Y'all can come in. Y'all can come in here and y'all could watch the live from the shadows. You can watch it. You know what I'm saying? You can get as soon as you start saying shit in the comments. I don't care what it is. You agree or disagree, it don't matter. But if we want you to come up and your ass say no, you get muted. You do that shit enough times, you getting blocked. Because you ain't adding nothing. You just in the comments just saying stupid shit, trying to trigger people. So come on, stand on it. I want to make sure the idea gets challenged. So what is your idea? What do you have to say? What are you feeling about the problem?
That's kind of crazy though. But for this topic, marriages in ruin has always been bad. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because it's really depending on the people who get married. There's been plenty of marriages that have lasted years upon years, right? So
do most marriages last that long? What's the average age of a marriage? What's the average, I guess, unaliving of a marriage?
Okay, you saying the time in which he gets divorced?
When do most marriages end? Yeah, when they end. Yeah.
I actually don't have the statistics. I don't want to give you a random number, but
yes.
From what I know, like there is marriages that last.
No. What year do you think? What's the average year?
Like how many years? So maybe say I don't know. Maybe
it's 10 years. Somebody already said in the comments. I was going to tell you, but yeah, we got to. Yeah, it's 10 years. So you saying years and years and years and years? Most marriages don't last years and years and years and years.
But 50% or end up in divorce, right? Like I guess
no, 50% of marriages don't end in divorce.
What's the percentage? Like 45%?
Like 38.
Oh, so
yeah,
38% of marriages end up in divorce. Mm-hmm. So the remaining other was it 62%?
Yeah, that's not the divorce rate isn't what people think it is. It doesn't mean that like most 38% ends in divorce. Yeah. I don't know how else to say it. I was gonna say.
No, I would just say so 62 don't end up in divorce.
62% don't end in divorce, yeah.
So yeah, so what I was saying is kind of correct though. So the majority of marriages last, the duration of their lives.
Oh no.
For the people in the comments that say they don't,
I'll make it again. Don't worry about it.
doesn't mean they're good. Everything is not going to be good when you have two different people, with two different, mindsets, coming together, living under one roof. Of course, you're going to have disagreements or arguments, but you got to work through them, right? So
It depends on what the disagreements and arguments are, brother.
Yeah.
It's always funny because so the people in this case would be the men that are extremely more likely to be the most problematic. When we get in these lives, they be the first ones talking about how we need to work through the stuff. But I'm like, that's easy to say when you're the most problematic person. Of course you want to work through the problems. You are the problem.
You the stuff.
You're the source. So yeah, that's easy for the man to be like, yeah, we need to just come together and da 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 da. Okay. But what is the problem? If the problem is cheating, no. If the problem is narcissistic abuse, no. If the problem is neglect, no. We're not working through that. You either gonna stop doing it, or they're gonna leave.
obviously, women want to get married, right? Because
No.
I don't know about that. Most women?
I mean, I didn't say most, but women out there, I don't know the percentages, but there's women out there who want to get married, right? And
But when you say women, that means most women.
I mean, you can say, I don't know if it's 50-50 or I don't know the
I think it's close. I do think most women probably still want to be married or so the women that you couple the women that are married and the women that would like to be married. Yeah, I would say most women want to be married.
Okay, so in that case, then if most women, this is potentially an issue that they would have to know before going into the marriage. Some, like you said, things can happen. People can do wrong, ruin their lives or whatever, right? And that's a potential.
Bro, you got a lot of feedback. I don't know what's going on. Go ahead.
Oh, you said you're talking about me?
I think it might have been BBG. It was a lot of feedback. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Okay, so in that case, like, yeah, going into a marriage, there's a possibility of you getting divorced, right? There's a possibility of something going wrong in the marriage that you may not like, and you may want to divorce somebody. So that's that going into a marriage.
Okay, what's the point of that?
So no one's forcing women to get into marriages. That's my point. No.
Plenty of people are forcing women to get into marriage.
You said what?
Plenty of people are forcing women and girls to get into marriages.
In what way?
Are you not familiar with child brides, arranged marriages? Like, there are so many different types of marriage that lead women into them against their will. Like, and I think that's another thing that disturbs me about the way that men have conversations around marriage is that y'all are in a perpetual rom-com where 100% of the marriages are just two people who decide to get together. They meet at a park where the dogs, leashes get tangled up together, and then they lock eyes and now they're in love and they get married. When that is not the case, because I think for most men, they don't recognize the level of danger that women are consistently in, and that how often it is still happening that that women are being sold off to other men by their families, brothers, uncles, cousins. Like, they are consistently being sold off to other men, because nevertheless, marriage, whether you believe spiritually, emotionally, mentally, whatever you believe of marriage is still a matter of filing within your state. If you have paid that fee and you have gone to that court and you have, turned
that white man paperwork,
you are married.
Mm-hmm.
You are, and that includes children. That includes people who are going against their will. That includes just about every type of idea you can think of.
I'm talking about, like, in this country. I don't think arranged marriages.
In this country, there are hundreds of thousands of child brides.
Child brides?
In this country.
You're saying hundreds of thousands?
Hundreds of thousands.
What age are we talking about?
Children.
Like, you talking about
16 and under.
Kids.
Sorry, I had to
It's
call.
not like R. Kelly when R. Kelly said, "How old are we talking?"
How old are we talking? When you say teenage, what do you mean by that?
Oh no,
They're kids.
kids, my
So if
guy.
that, how is that even legal? That's against the law. Like, what are we talking about?
And how many states is it against the law?
It ain't against the law in every state.
It should be against the law. I don't know. I have to go
It's
look into
not
it.
though, but it's not though. And they call them child brides for a reason. They don't call them child grooms because ain't many boys being sold.
So you're saying hundreds of thousands of children are getting married in the United States?
Repeating is not gonna change it.
You know
No,
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I just when it's stumbled and bumbled into a thing of this woman, she had posted all, it was a trend going on. And she was Hispanic, and she was talking specifically about the Hispanic community in her thing, but you can apply it to Americans. But it was a bunch of videos she had strung together from this trend, and it was like 28 and 50, the man older in every scenario, 28, 15, 30, 16, 23, 14, 15, 27, 32, 14, like just and she was just talking the whole video about how this was like people were openly putting this out there, like they just like put it on, like just put it on the internet. And I'm like, what the hell? This is crazy. I ended up actually, I gotta be careful. I had a video that I had got flagged for on YouTube, and in the video, all I was talking, it was a dude, a black dude. He was on a reality TV show. He was on a reality TV show, and he was talking about how he met his wife when she was like 14 and he was 19, and he didn't say it out loud, but he used it was essentially a G word situation, GROOM. It was essentially one of those situations. He said that he thought she was cute when she was 14 and yada, yada, yada. Then they ended up getting married later on. And I just made a video and I just played the video, and the video was on YouTube. Like the video that I took it from was on YouTube, and they gave me a warning because that's a whole another thing which pissed me off. But woo, like it is a known thing, brother. Like Marcus Houston, they saying it right there. David, the dude they underline, David's homie. That was with gotta be careful talking about this on YouTube, though. I gotta be careful. So I don't want to go too far. I'm a little nervous still from that warning. That thing threw your boy for a loop.
You know what's crazy though? The amount of men that I know personally. I'm not even gonna lie. I listened to a man tell a story about meeting his wife at 12 and he was 17 or 18. He didn't, not granted, he didn't get with her until after she was, quote unquote of age. I still don't really even know what that means. But this was like a story that was being told just like to a broad audience. And like, it's not, the craziest part to me is that it wasn't the last time that I heard a story. It wasn't the first or the last time that I heard a story like this. I remember at my childhood church listening to somebody testify about how they loved how their wife carried themselves and, blah, 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 blah. And then of course he goes on to mention that when he met her, she was 16 and he was 25 or 20, somewhere between 25 and 28. I can't remember the exact number. But yeah, openly talk, like these are common conversations. Even if you talk to your mom, aunt, like you'll start to find out how old these men were when, they were either hitting on them or when a lot of these women were getting married. And it's terrifying because people try to normalize it and try to make it, a case of, well, she knew what she was doing because, girls tour and blah, blah, blah. And it's not.
It's
I see
also
why the divorce rate is high. I can see why. Because, if children are getting married, getting into arranged marriages, and I actually looked it up a little bit. they said something to the effect where it was like maybe from like 2000 to 2020, it was maybe like 300,000 plus arranged marriages or something like that.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, over that time frame. So yeah, I just looked into that, and I understand those women or those young women, you know, in that
Girls.
situation. Yeah, girls originally, but you know, by the time they probably divorced, it's probably a young woman. So in that situation, I understand them 100%.
Yeah.
Why they would divorce? Like that's kind of that's creepy. Like you know what I mean? Especially as kids, I don't know what kind of parents.
But I want to be clear. That's crazy. But tens of millions of people got married in between that time, and a good portion of them ended in divorce, and it was mainly because of the behaviors of the men. The same reason with the child bride stuff. It was the character and the behaviors of the men. That's what's going on. And marriages have always been oppressive for women. Always. No, even if she's underage, overage, it doesn't matter. It's always been oppressive for women.
I wouldn't say that because, like you said, 62% of the marriages actually.
That doesn't mean anything, brother.
How does it not mean?
That doesn't mean anything.
They're still legally married. That's what that means.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
Meaning that she's willing to work.
That's not what that means. That's not what that means.
That means that nobody has been divorced in that. We ain't even talking about
all
legal
that
separation.
means. That's all that means.
Legal separation. That just means that they are not divorced. That has no inference. That draws no inference to the condition of that household.
Yes, yeah. That's not even like there was a time like when has no default divorce been a thing in America, King? Hold on, I know. I'm asking King. King, when did no fault divorce become a thing?
What do you mean, like no fault divorce?
You don't even know what no fault divorce is. Huh?
No, I'm not aware of that. No.
Okay, so prior to no fault divorce, the only way for you to get divorced, like women could get divorces, but somebody would have to, they needed a witness to be like, yeah, nah, he crazy. Yeah, nah, he bad. Yeah, not like that. That's what it was like before, right? And who would do that, right? Like in most cases, it wasn't. Most of the time, nobody, people wouldn't come forward and do that because they would be ostracized by the community. So no fault divorce became a thing in 1973, right? Ain't been that long. So prior to 1973, my granny got married in the 50s. Right, my granny got married in the 50s. So prior to 1973, women couldn't just leave their husbands because they said so. Because the woman just said, this relationship isn't helping me. It's whatever. And that's legally in court. Then you look at all the social pressures, the political pressures, and economic pressures that are put on women to stay in harmful, toxic relationships. And you can quickly see that just because somebody ain't divorced doesn't mean that the man is showing up the way he needs to. That's not what that means.
No, in this day and age, like
in 2025 specifically, my words ring very true, brother. When was it illegal? When did it become illegal to rape your wife?
Grape your wife? I don't think that's ever legal.
It was legal.
To grape your wife?
Mm-hmm. It was legal to grape your wife. It wasn't considered rape. They wouldn't call it. They didn't say on paper it's legal to grape your wife. They just said you can't grape your wife. It's not a possibility. Up until 1994.
Yeah, so some of these things is kind of crazy. Like as far as the awareness with the children, child marriages and stuff like that. But at the same time, when I'm talking, I'm normally talking about adults in the situation.
Hold on, brother. Don't breeze past what I'm telling you or what BPG has said. We have eroded what you're saying. You're not listening. It's like goofy at this point. That's how the conversation always end up being goofy. Because
how's it being goofy?
You're not, because BBG talked about, you said that nobody is forcing anybody in a marriage, and she debunked that. Then you're trying to use 62% of people are still married, therefore that must mean that they're in happy relationships. Yes, that is what you're alluding to. That's the inference. If that's not the case, then what are you talking about?
I said, didn't you hear what I said earlier? I said if there's two different people living under the same household, eventually their mindsets and everything is gonna something's gonna go on where they have a disagreement or argument. That's normal. Okay, that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
not a happy marriage, sir, because you had an
Then there's no
argument.
such thing as a happy marriage, according to you.
That's not true.
But no. What is a happy marriage if someone has a disagreement? It's part of it.
That's not literally. I just said the opposite of that. I'm saying I'm not quantifying a marriage based on if you get into a freaking argument here and there. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about women being in marriages with sustained levels of AB, like just throughout the marriage, and they're still in the marriage. They can't leave because they can't leave the kids. They can't leave because they haven't had a job in 15 years. They can't leave because he says, if you ever leave me, I'll unalive you, your mama, our kids, and the damn goldfish, and the dog, and the hamster. And you up here talking about, well, they're there, so it must mean that they're working on it. No, it's not what it means.
Then women have an option. They have options. They have options to hold on. They have options to not get married, which a lot of women are doing right now. No one's forcing anyone to get married.
We're talking about women.
Right? No, I know.
You don't have to tell it. You're just moving around, sir. Sit with what I'm saying. You are. Now you're talking about what women can do to avoid marriages. That's irrelevant to the conversation.
How so? If men are always going to be the issue, and the majority of men are going to be the issue in most circumstances, so why, if men are not good, they don't have to marry men. I understand that point of view. You don't have to get married.
So period. What is the relevancy of saying that? You think you're teaching anybody something? I'm very, very confused by that statement. Where does that statement fit in the context of this conversation?
It actually fits because if men are that, have that many issues where women don't want to, be with them long term, like once they get into a relationship with them, why stay? Why even enter that situation? Why marry men?
Because we're going around in circles. We just explained this to you. That's what down this rabbit hole. God help us, Lord, help us.
It's nothing to help. I understand it's completely.
Jesus
this is why the
coming back. Don't forget me.
Isn't ruined. It's always been bad. The reason why women stay is because there are some women who get married out of desire. There are some women who get married by force. Both of those women, especially in this society until recently, have had their finances controlled by men. Their any medication, any hospitalizations, any health issues that they might have, that is controlled by men.
That is actually wrong. What you said.
No, it's not. Because of the fact that all of these things are tied to her husband, she does not leave, because if she leaves, then she won't be able to care for herself. That is why society is set up in the way it is. This is where patriarchy comes into play. Because if it were just a matter of two people who are fully autonomous human beings, who both have access to the same resources, the same rights, the same abilities, making the choice to be in a marriage together, then yes, that's different. We don't live in that society, though.
I have a great example.
Hold on. Can I answer her?
No, wait.
I want to say something to her.
Hold on. You can ask her. We'll go ahead and ask her the question.
It was actually not a question. She said, she made it seem like the majority of marriages are arranged marriages, and that's not the case.
That's not what she said. That's not even what she said. Remotely close.
No. She made it seem like that.
No, she didn't. That's what you wanted to hear from what she said. That isn't. What did she say?
No, she brought up the point about a woman having to be in these arranged marriages.
You said no, Ken. Hold on. You don't even remember what happened. That's why, because y'all don't listen and you don't comprehend. And I'm not even playing. Hold on. This is why you can't ever repeat what happened, because you can't listen. You don't listen and you can't comprehend. The reason she brought that up was because you said no woman is being forced into marriages. And she said, yes, they are. It's happening all the time. You see the difference? She never made it seem. Oh, no. Don't say no. Because that's what happened. It's weird that you that should end the conversation right now with what you're saying. But instead, okay.
Okay.
Jesus fucking
So
Christ.
okay, look. So when she said that, she made it seem like it's on the same level as women having choices.
She didn't.
She
You
absolutely
said,
did.
no, you made a stupid statement. You made an ignorant statement. When you
No, I
said,
didn't.
you did. The ignorance in your statement was you spoke in absolutes. You said no women are being forced into marriages. Once you said that, her response to that was, that's not true. It's happening all the time. If you would have said women in general are being forced into marriages, maybe she doesn't say that, because I still believe there's even a window for that. But probably she doesn't say that, because that wasn't what she was talking about. You spoke in an absolute. That was the problem. You shouldn't have spoken in absolute. As soon as you made your statement close-ended, she exploited the flaw in your logic, debunked your claim, and that's how that happened. And instead of you acknowledging that, now you were trying to use that and gaslight her into you're trying to gaslight her into believing that what she was saying was not true, because she allegedly, according to you, was trying to make it applicable to all women or most women. And that's not what she was doing.
I agreed that the arranged marriages happen.
No, you didn't.
Not in America.
You didn't agree that sir, you did not agree with her.
Let me finish.
No, I'm not going to let you finish,
Okay,
because you're lying. That's not what happened.
I said I know that happens outside of the United States, but to the degree that which she told me that it happened in the United States, I looked it up myself after she told me that. I said, how often does it happen in the United States? And she said thousands upon thousands.
She said it happens hundreds of thousands of times, and she was right. You looked it up. You looked it up and came back, and it was over 300,000. That's what he said. That's what his numbers confirmed her. No, what she said. She said hundreds of thousands. He came back, and the number was hundreds of thousands. Like what? Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Hold on, let me get that. Who did that?
Google has got all of us in a
J
box.
Hops, hold on. J Hops, I appreciate you. J Hops, shout out to J Hops. She hit that 5 galaxy mark to drop that, man. I had to do it. It was crazy. Like, go ahead. Exhausting.
Moochie.
Exhausting.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Google is got niggas in a bind.
It's fucking us up as a community. But you know what? I did figure something out. I didn't ever notice. You probably knew this. I figured out why they can never repeat what was said prior. When they try to make the claim, and then you ask them, it's a part of it is they be lying. That's a big part of it. But another part of it is they never understood to begin with.
Never.
If you understood it, you would remember it. That's why I can remember what you said, because I understood what you were saying. See what I'm saying? And so the conversation flow in such a way that I can make it make sense. So you know what I mean? Like I could go back to that time, and I'm like, okay, even if I don't remember verbatim, why would she have said that in the natural? See what I'm saying? I could just work it out based on the conversation that we were having. Cool. Oh, that's why she said that. Now I knew what you said, but I could go. That's what happens most of the time, because I understood what you were saying. The reason why y'all can't never remember what people said is because y'all never understood what motherfuckers said to begin with. That's the problem.
Illiteracy.
The illiteracy is whooping us. Illiteracy is literally we cannot have conversations with people. We can't have conversations with me. The illiteracy rate is crazy. It is outstanding how high the illiteracy rate is amongst men. It's crazy. It's so high. It's so high. And I'm starting to really see, it's like sad. It really is sad. how can you be in a relationship with the person? Your IQ isn't 135, Ken, stop lying. The way y'all lie is effortless. Like I said, your IQ isn't 135. I would bet anything I'll bet, prove it. 135? Drop them again from the comments. Give me five galaxies. I'll ban Ken for life right now. Just for that statement. I don't do this normally, but I can't. I don't care how it happened. We get 5 galaxies in the next 10 minutes. I'm banning Ken for life. He's gone for life for that statement. That's crazy work, fam. That don't even make sense. Ah, damn, it look like it's about to happen, Ken. Damn, man. Damn, bro. J Hop said, get him up out of here.
Yeah, they get real insufferable real fast. Not to add, and I will be honest with you. I went to go Google it, which I hate Google, but literacy and high IQ don't even go together.
They don't even go together.
Don't even go together.
And you would know that if your IQ was really up.
Like let's be honest real quick. Let's be honest. And I think the worst part about it is not like being illiterate is not bad. Being illiterate is not bad. And hear me clearly, because we don't have a sufficient public school system.
Children have been left behind.
Quite literally. I see it.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
I know you see it.
I have 8th graders who read on a kindergarten level in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's in it. You know what I mean? That's not an 8th grader issue. That's not,
No.
You know what I mean? That's not on a child.
That's a societal problem. Yes. Absolutely.
Right. And especially if you have multiple kids, I see kids every single day who absolutely are struggling very deeply with literacy. And it's not a one person thing. It's not a parent thing. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not a teacher thing. It is a systemic thing. It is systematic. But also the other issue that we have going hand in hand with the illiteracy is arrogance. Being illiterate and arrogant and egotistical. And you know what I mean? Like that's the part that's annoying, because it's one thing to be wrong, but to be loud and wrong, it's just like I don't mind admitting I don't know a thing. I'm perfectly fine with not knowing.
I love admitting I don't know shit.
Learning, you know what I mean? Like that's cool, but I'm never gonna get up here and be like, dog, that's a lie. I ain't never read it. I ain't never seen it. I don't have no way to tell you that it's a lie, but I'm gonna tell you for a matter of fact that it's a lie because I just believe it in my heart. That's crazy.
Because you know it's not true. That's be the craziest part. Like you know it's not true. See what I'm saying? Like they know it's not true,
but they don't know that. That's the weirder part. They actually don't know that it's not true. He just when we had that conversation about the child brides, he was about to argue with us about the child brides. Went to go look it up, found out that is a real thing. And that's the part that's more disturbing, because if you don't know it's true, I know that your agenda is that you are trying to figure out how to mask whatever data this is, so that you can benefit from it in some way. That, you know what I mean? That has a direct pipeline. Those two types of dudes are in the room together, but they not the same. Not knowing and being so matter of fact about knowing, nasty word.
That's the sickest
crazy.
Part about it. That really do be the sickest part about it. I'll be
that's
like,
psychotic.
Y'all don't know, and y'all like 10 toes down. But that's the nature of me.
True.
That's how that's our thing. That's our thing. That's kind of like we own that. Like being loud and wrong.
Most men think they're the smartest in the room.
Ain't that crazy?
Most. They never are.
They never are the smartest. Well, if they're in the room by themselves.
They never are.
When they're in the room by themselves.
When they in the room by themselves, it's still 5 other people that's smarter than them in that room.
No, they in the room by themselves. Nah.
I promise you.
What you talking about in their head?
There are bugs.
The personalities?
There are bugs. There are spiders building very intricate webs and doing very amazing things, and ants collecting things.
Spatial awareness.
People got roaches. Like, yeah.
Spiders' awareness is definitely genius. They
sure.
Spatial awareness is crazy.
And they're attentive. I saw this thing on TikTok. see, the woman in me is going to add the caveat that I don't know how true this is because I saw it on TikTok and I thought the video was cool, but I did not look further into it. That spiders study your habits. If you have
They
a
do.
spider in your house, they
Yeah.
study your habits.
They know if you, they said, it was talking about, it said like wolf spider specifically. It was like, if you see a wolf spider in the, whatever, it's because more than likely you're not supposed to be there. Like, cause it studies your schedule.
Crazy.
Like, interesting. I can believe that.
But again, I'll add the caveat. I saw the video about it.
I never looked it
Thought
up.
it was interesting. I did not look it up. So I don't know that to be true. This would be a good moment for somebody who has already done some research on it to add in there, okay, cool. I don't know why it is so hard for most men to do that. I don't know, especially if they talking to women, especially, and I think the saddest part is that I see it in boys as well. Boys get to an age where they for sure, they are dismissive of the knowledge base of the women
All the time.
in their direct vicinity, even if those women are 10, 20, 30 years older than them. They still believe, boys who are 12, 13 years old believe that they are smarter than the average woman.
Yep. That is for sure. Yeah, I see it with little boys too. Not even like, you know what I'm saying?
Terrifying.
Like,
it's very terrifying, actually.
At a certain, that's what I was saying. Like, I forgot. I was saying like, when we talk about the necessity of having men in the home, that's one of the things that I point to. Like when the people, even though I don't believe that, but like I'll be like, there's, but that is due to the patriarchy. I'm like, if we stopped socializing little boys and not listening to women, then that wouldn't be a problem. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, in this society, yeah, that's one of the benefits of having a man in a home is, so, the boy is more likely to listen to the man, but also because the man can model the behaviors of listening to the woman or the women in the home. So the boy can go, oh, okay. Like, y'all know, I tell y'all that all the time. I'm really big on like telling my son, like, oh no, mommy did that. Yeah. Like mommy figured that out. Like mommy's smarter than me. Listen to mommy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really, I be wanting him to, defer to her. Don't defer to me. I'm a dummy. Don't listen to me. I might lead you down the road. I try my best, but I know for sure though, if you listening to her, you're gonna do all right.
Yeah.
100% chance. You know what I'm saying? With me, 90%, 85. Fuck it. There's a margin of error there. Her, she good. It's 100. She batting 1,000 with that shit. Listen, make sure you listen to your mommy.
That's the workaround for patriarchal structures. I hear so many men who complain about, paying for dates and taking out trash. Menial stuff, first of all. Stuff that really ain't even that huge of a deal. Paying bills and all of that stuff. And just like you said, even with teaching your sons and modeling the kind of behavior that you want them to have so that they can learn to understand women as human beings. The workaround is correcting that imbalance. If you are somebody who is in a position of power, it doesn't have to be a lot of power, but you are a part of, that able-bodied, heterosexual, maybe even, dare I say, even Christian, because we're in America, capitalist, system, whatever.
All the things, yeah.
If you embody any of those things, then the way that you correct how the system is imbalanced is by intentionally making space for people who don't have space in that system, and make correcting that imbalance by intentionally drawing in people who will listen to you because of your position of power. Like that's really, I've been correcting people so often about those handicap spots. When you are parking in a handicap spot, do not park over those blue lines where that box is, because that is how people who have, either wheelchairs or, the motorized chairs, that's how they're able to get in and out of their car. If you park over those lines in the grocery store, that person cannot get out. If you're driving and you're over, even like that simple thing, you're over that line where the crosswalk is, where pedestrians are supposed to cross, don't cross over that line. People who need, to be able to be within those lines, especially my friend does a lot of advocacy work for disabled people. And she talked about how many friends she's lost because people will drive over that line thinking it's not a huge deal, but it messes up your line of sight for other cars. So nobody can see you right there. Like if you're in a chair, your chair is not the same height as a car. So when that person is crossing, the other cars can't see them crossing because of where you are.
Damn. And people just don't pay attention to that.
But I'm saying even when they try to pay attention, you know what I mean? If you over that line, the other car who may be paying attention, who's trying to turn or whatever, won't see the other car and they'll hit that person. And that's one of those things that's like, it's simple. Even with you redirecting your kids, like, no, I'm gonna credit my wife because she's the one who did it. That those things make a huge difference.
Yeah, I figured it did. That's why I try to do it. That's why I do it. Like, that's why I do it. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be the reason he don't listen to women. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be me.
He gonna have plenty of them. He don't need.
He gonna have a bunch of outside influences, and that's gonna be on there. But I'm not gonna be the reason he don't listen to his mom, or he don't listen to his girlfriend, or he don't listen to his, whoever, right? Or just the women, or right? It don't even gotta be like sexual stuff or whatever. Relationship stuff. It could just be just girls in his class, women, whatever, a teacher, whoever. I'm not gonna be the reason. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I'm about to wrap this thing up. Appreciate you, BPG. I gotta go eat. I'm sweating. Shout out to BPG, man. She helped your boy out. We had a good old time, man. Good old time. Shout out to the Tappers, Jappers, and Super Chat. Hey, we didn't have no Super Chats today. I don't know what happened. I just noticed that. We ain't getting out one Super Chat. All right. I see how it is. But yeah, everybody that gifted, everybody that liked the live, I appreciate you. Love you. Love y'all for real, for real. We'll be back tomorrow, probably Tuesday. We'll be back home. We're gonna be back home. We're gonna be back home, man. Shout out to the best minds in the business. Y'all was holding it down. Yep. Good conversation. I loved it. I had fun. Haters come back tomorrow. I'll be forgetting. See, I done forgot all my sign-offs. Hope y'all had a good time. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed y'all. Thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate y'all.